Little Patty.
I
How
gotta
you
be
feel?
honest. I didn't like it, and this was the first time in my life I saw an older LeBron James who played and looked like his age, and LeBron James he did not look like himself, which for me is the first time I've ever seen him like that. So this just felt like the first like step up on the way out, and like kind of
Uh-oh.
catering to his legacy instead of focusing on this season in the game that was already over. Congrats, I guess, but like I honestly I didn't love it, and it was just
I see it
obvious what he
different.
was doing.
Chandler Parsons calls out LeBron James for stat padding. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
But back to Dillon Brooks, career highs in points and field goal percentage so far. There's a lot to get into on this one, but I want to start, Lou, with the fact that is he in the most improved conversation, and is it a no-brainer?
I couldn't hold my laugh in because look, Dillon Brooks is one of those guys you hate to see go off. You hate to see him have a big night because you're gonna have to deal with him. He's gonna be talking, he's gonna be ready to fight, he's in the crowd, he in your head. I hate to see guys like Dillon Brooks have a good night when you're competing against him. But listen, give him credit. He whooped their ass last night and he talked it and he walked it and then he backed it up. You got to give him credit. Is he in the conversation for most improved? He should be. You look around the league and, you look at Jalen Duran. He's another guy. Josh Giddey is going to be another guy in that conversation. He's averaging upwards of 22 plus points a game. Nobody saw that coming. We knew Dillon Brooks could score the basketball, but consistently like this, we didn't see. He's found a home in Phoenix, and it looks good for him. He should definitely.
Yeah, Dillon Brooks playing great this season, 20 plus points per game. He's on a solid team, a Suns team to be like, you know what? What are they going to do this season without KD? So they were kind of up in limbo, especially with the Bill situation ending bad as well. So you're minus Bill and KD, and you got Dillon Brooks and Green. Green has been hurt for the whole season, so Dillon had to step his game up. So he's doing great. I like what he's doing on the court. I like him going against LeBron James, not bowing down and kissing the rings. That was the real story of that night. Dillon Brooks destroying LeBron James.
Be in that conversation.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's having a great year. Like Lou said, he's averaging 22 points, 3 rebounds. He's efficient. He's always been kind of that trash talking, defending two-way player. Now he's getting, some credit for scoring. And obviously last night he even made a joke. As soon as Devin went out, he was hyped because he got more shots. And I play with him. He's always been a good dude. He's always been a little nuts. But he plays the right way. He's not a guy that you put the ball in his hands and let him create. He's a great guy playing off good players, cutting, moving, getting out in transition, getting in passing lanes on defense and getting to the basket. But last night, man, he was showing a little off the block posts, some fadeaways, getting to the lane, getting to the paint. He's gotten stronger. So yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely gotten stronger. He can put the ball into the basket. That's going to be the main thing for Dillon Brooks. Staying out of foul trouble, controlling your emotions, and scoring. You got to do that with Booker, Green, and yourself. This team doesn't have elite stars on there other than a Booker. That's pretty much it. Everybody's either a borderline all-star or just very good players. So Dillon fits in that category as far as being a very good player. He's going to have an all-star-like season for the Phoenix Suns to maybe make it to the playoffs. And who knows, maybe upset in the first round. Other than OKC, the Suns, they can compete against the other teams in the Western Conference.
He was in his bag last night. And again, he's averaging 22 points on a team with Jalen Green, Devin Booker, and then that's surprisingly winning games too. So it's a great story. And I can't go on any further without talking about what Colin Gillespie did last night too. I don't know if we're talking about him later, but he went bananas after a two-way player for the first 2 years in Denver.
Gillespie.
Guy won a championship without playing a game in Denver. Now he's getting an opportunity to really step up, and he was balling last night too. So this was Dillon Brooks and Colin Gillespie show in LA.
In LA.
And it was awesome.
I believe Dillon Brooks deserves more credit than he gets. I felt like he was the heartbeat of that Memphis team when they were making their runs. It's been kind of downhill for them. I think he brought a really tough culture to Houston with his time there. And now he's doing the same thing in Phoenix.
Yeah, Dillon's a culture shifter. He's going to toughen up every team he's on, especially with that Rockets team, Ime Udoka. He was a great fit for Houston, but again, you had a chance to get KD. You got to do what you got to do, especially if you have a great core in Houston. having a KD there may set them over the edge as far as winning a championship more than Dillon Brooks, but he got cast away in Memphis. They tried to make him look like the bad guy. And as soon as he left, that organization went downhill. You got a fake phony gangster like Ja Morant thinking he a tough guy. He can't even stay healthy on the court, but he wants to talk junk about Klay Thompson. So either way, man, shout out to Dillon Brooks, finally getting his flowers. He's going to step up to the plate when he plays LeBron. That's like the person he ain't rocking with. Yeah, he may respect him to a certain standpoint, but he's not going to glaze LeBron James. He's not a part of the Clutch Sports infrastructure, and he's going to stand on business. Shout out to Dillon Brooks. Keep destroying the phony GOAT, LeBron James.
Everywhere this guy has gone, he's brought that culture
Yes.
of winning along with him. So I just hate how that kind of goes unnoticed when we speak on Dillon Brooks. Yes, he's having an incredible season. His offensive numbers are up. But me personally, this is my type of teammate. I want a guy that's going to make every superstar uncomfortable, no matter, who it is. He's fearless. He wants to guard the best player every night. You need those type of guys to be a winning team and to make runs. He falls in that category of Marcus Smarts, Draymond Greens, Dennis Rodmans. Like, you want that type of guy on your team. And I think that's something that never really gets talked about when we speak on this.
You think he could keep scoring at this clip, Boogie, for a season?
I don't care. I don't care about his
you
scoring.
saying is right. Yeah,
I don't care about his scoring. I
Yeah.
just want to give him his flowers for being a winning player. I don't care about his scoring.
Yeah, his scoring would be nice, but as long as he can, again, stay out of foul trouble, be available, contain his emotions. I like the back and forth with him and LeBron, but as long as it doesn't go overboard and he's getting kicked out of the game for multiple texts, that's my main thing with Dillon Brooks, just staying under control, staying within the moment. I would like for him to score at least, 15 to 20 points consistently, but as long as Devin Booker's out, he's going to have to raise his level of play. But his scoring is going to come in handy in the playoffs. Maybe you can get away with it during the regular season, but when the game slows down, you're going against a team for 4 to 7 games, you got to be able to score. You can't be a one-trick pony like Dillon Brooks. He's going to go off on the opposing player mentally and verbally, but if you can't score, you're pretty much going to be a Draymond Green, non-existent.
I think he fits a role that on every single team. I think he can go play on any team and be a positive.
Any team need.
Him averaging 22, that's just a plus. You know what I mean? But just him and what value he brings to each team he goes to, I just feel like it goes unnoticed, and he deserves more credit.
That's why I'm laughing,
awesome.
Boogie, because me and you got different mindsets. I like to throw that thing in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? I like to go get a bucket. So when I see a guy that don't really have the pedigree to go out and do that, and he's doing it, I'm laughing like, bro, can you really continue to do this? But you're absolutely right. Everything that you said about Dillon Brooks. He's an agitator, right? Like, you hate to compete against somebody like that. But when they on your team, like a Dillon Brooks, a Pat Bev, and all of those people.
You need that.
Yeah, you love the fact that they on your team and y'all wearing the same uniform. But on the opposite side, you want to fight them every time you run.
Yeah, every team should have a Dillon Brooks. If you're a GM, you're looking for players that can give you that Dillon Brooks type edge that's not going to bow down to the best player in the NBA or the phony GOAT. You want someone that's going to talk jump regardless, not going to bow down and kiss the rings, going to stay competitive, going to be locked in, take every game like his last. That's what you like out of Dillon Brooks. So it's good to see him finally getting his flowers. It had a lot to do with him and his back and forth with LeBron over the years, but either way, people are saluting him. Shout out to Dillon Brooks. Keep standing on business. Again, it'll be good for him to score 20-plus points consistently, but in a playoff setting, he's going to have to score. I respect what Boogie is saying. Forget the points. He likes what he brings to the game, but again, those points will come in handy in a playoff series, especially if you're trying to advance past the first and second round.
Into him, like, bro, we gonna have to rumble after this.
And he's never really had to do this, right? Like in Memphis, it was Ja and Jaren, and Houston. Like, this was never his role. It's still not his role. I think when he scores 20-plus points, that's just a bonus. But you signed Dillon Brooks, like Boogie said, you signed him for toughness. You signed him for defense. You can put him on all 30 teams right now. By the way, all other 29 teams hate him until you sign him.
Yep.
And then he's on your team and he helps you win basketball games. So I agree. The Memphis, they should have never let him walk. The whole intro thing where he led the dance and walking out, like, he was the heart and soul of that team. And they've taken a real hit since losing him. And it's not, usually it's because someone's scoring or someone's offensive. This was just everything involved in his DNA. And everywhere he goes, he puts his DNA all over that franchise. And he's doing it quickly in Phoenix.
Yeah, the Grizzlies, they know they messed up. Looking back in hindsight, you know what? We chose Ja Morant and Triple J over Dillon Brooks. And I get if your team has reached the ceiling, you got to make changes, but I think you at least keep that core, Dillon, Triple J, and Ja, and then everybody else can go. But either way, big mistake by them. I know they're kicking themselves right now, seeing Dillon Brooks ball out in Houston and, being traded to Phoenix. People are kind of scratching their head. How would this work? Him and Booker, but looks like they're locked in. Looks like the organization, they're rocking with Dillon Brooks, and he's going to do some great things in Phoenix. And if he can lead this team to a playoffs, he's definitely going to get most improved if he can keep those numbers up in the 20-plus point range.
I love a WWE heel. He is the perfect version of that. But yeah, you hate him when he's playing your own team. I do love that he's fearless. Boogie, you said it. He really doesn't care. As a matter of fact, I think he gets joy out of going after the biggest name out there, which is exactly what he did with LeBron James. A little bit of the mocking of the shrug and all of that. Here it comes. Says that LeBron likes people who bow down, and he's not one of them.
Oh wow! I never saw
Hey,
that.
you know that pissed LeBron off low key, man.
Oh yeah. Oh, he'll remember that forever. There's something coming.
You know what's worse?
All right.
You know what's worse than the mocking? What's worse than the mocking is that was a nasty ass dunk. That dunk wasn't man. And he celebrated like he's mad.
Oh,
Yeah, Dillon Brooks is the ultimate troll, but the ultimate competitor as well. I know LeBron James may not have liked it, but you got to respect it. Or maybe he wants to plot on Dillon Brooks and try to get him out the NBA. Who knows with LeBron James and the power that he has in media, but either way, man, you got to respect Dillon Brooks, not bowing down to LeBron James, continue to stand on business, and let the phony goat know you've come to play. You're not trying to laugh and giggle. You're trying to win a game. You're trying to go to the playoffs and who knows, maybe win a championship in Phoenix in the very near future.
Night. JJ Redick left LeBron in the game last night because remember he's got that streak going where he's got 10 points or more at 12:97, which he got with a 3 with 6:50 left. The Lakers were down over 20 points at this point, so I believe there's a phrase or a term for what was happening here, Chandler. Little padding.
I gotta be honest. I didn't like it, and this was the first time in my life I saw an older LeBron James who played and looked like his age. And after sitting out the night before against New Orleans, I thought this was a perfect night for him just to go crazy and kind of carry this team to a victory. And Luka went nuts early on. Austin Reeves was struggling, and LeBron James, he did not look like himself, which for me is the first time I've ever seen him like that. So it was a nice gesture for JJ to continue to keep him in there, and he definitely was hunting for it, and he was not coming out till he got it. This just felt like the first like step up on the way out, and like kind of catering to his legacy instead of focusing on this season in the game that was already over. Congrats, I guess, but like I honestly I didn't love it, and it was just obvious what he was doing.
Yeah, it was an obvious stat pad by LeBron. He had to struggle to score those 10 points. Most teams, they're down by 20, 25. They're not going to leave their quote-unquote star player in the game, especially someone that's about to be 41, that's being low managed, that missed the first 14 games of the season, and then missed that game versus the Pelicans due to being old. So he wasn't that old when he tried to stat pad for 10 points, but became old again after scoring the 10 and then waved the white flag and left the game. So JJ Redick had no choice but to bow down to LeBron James. That's the person that hired him as the head coach of the Lakers, his podcast partner. So he's always going to be indebted to LeBron James. But LeBron knows he's disinterested in the Lakers. He knows they're not going to win a championship. He knows that he's not going to be a part of this team after this season. So at the end of the day, why not stat pad? Keep the streak alive, retire with the streak, or take it to the next team. But again, it was a bad look by LeBron James stat padding, and they made it look so obvious. The Lakers, they should be ashamed of themselves for even keeping LeBron in the game. You're supposed to stand on business, but again, it's hard to do that when LeBron James controls the media. He'll make the Lakers look bad. LeBron James is a phony goat. He's a fraud.